Hello everyone, this is Iwori Obatala. I'm here talking about the Obatala Detective Agency, because I am the assistant director and director of photography and the graphic designer for said project. Now this project is about a man named Afunja who became a Babalao, and when he became a Babalao, this man also became a vigilante, because what this man would do is this man would solve crimes in the black community using divinations. So, in other words, he would talk to the ancestors. He would talk directly to the spirit world and gain insight from them on how to solve all the cases that he comes across. And this is going to be a series and a movie, because the series is going to be an ongoing series. We got so many things that we could address. So many different types of spiritual crimes that we could talk about, and then for the movie, that's gonna be a feature length, and I'm just gonna drop this little jewel. It's gonna be about a special ring, and this special ring is gonna be the key. It's key to the movie. It was makes the movie a movie, Like, how you have series that have like a long building point, but with the movie, you gotta cut straight to the climax and then come right back down, So the ring is key to that. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, y'all. And I want to talk a little bit about my new name, Iwori Obatala, because it's very new. It's a new energy that I'm taking on, because with Khalid Sharif Johnson, I've been carrying that energy all my life, and I studied gematria too. So Khalid Sharif Johnson, that adds up to 5, and 5 is a very important number for me because, 5 symbolizes, when the 3 and the 2 come together, heaven and earth coming together, humanity. Is why we got 5 fingers, why we got 5 senses, 5 toes, I believe that 5 is a number of humanity, and I find myself to be very drawn towards humanity, especially with the different projects that I've been doing, because I've been doing logos and doing photography, working with farmers, just been networking all over Chicago, just trying to meet all types of people who's about self-sustainability and about living green and about returning back to nature, returning back home, returning to a lifestyle that proved to be a lot more beneficial today. And that's why I am a initiate of Ifa, meaning that I am a Obatala priest. And the reason why I am an Obatala priest is because when I got my head for life, when I had my divination, my head for life was Obatala. And a head for life is basically it's almost like it's your zodiac, because the thing with astrology is that people think that you're just one sign, but you're not. But in Ifa, you're practically your head for life, because in Ifa they believe that the soul is connected to the head. But then, like in other readings, in other research and other stuff that I researched, it talks about how the heart is the seat of the soul. So it makes me think. So the head is where they believe the soul actually is, which makes sense because your mind's there, your mental plane is here, and then you have your heart right here, and that's said to be the seat of the soul. Now that I say it, it's kind of confusing. It's like, is it like the head's the top of the soul while the heart's the bottom of the soul? But then you have your feet. The bottom of your feet is called the soul too. So it's like, is your body the soul? Or is like the soul, or maybe I'm tweaking. It's a vessel for the soul. But that's why I don't really like English, because English confuses up a lot of shit, and that's why I'm going to be learning different languages soon. But I digress. So with Ifa though, everything that it is about is what I'm about. Down from to the spiritual baths, to the shrine making, to the way they use colors as a part of their rituals. Like I had to wear white for 30 days straight, and luckily, I was given people who gave me clothes, and I got shout out to Paul Neely of Kidwood Sneakers. He was a blessing. And shout out to Funjo Bufimi. He's my Babalawo. He's the one who put me on this path. And it's crazy how I met this man. I was in Whole Foods, and I was in Whole Foods, just wanted to get something to drink, because I was doing deliveries. I do deliveries with Postmates, caviar here and there, and I got thirsty, of course. So I went into Whole Foods, wanted to give me something to drink. But then in my head, I was in line, right? And in my head, I was thinking, okay, you could spend the same amount of money and get some juice at a local store, and I thought about Tangible Things. And Tangible Things is a store that's on 49th and Cottage. They have some really good merch there. Got some really good bath salts, not the bad kind, the ones you actually take a bath with, and got good sage there, soaps for sale. They also have like a lot of different like eternal decorative like a lot of stuff for the house, stuff that looks really good, and when I went up there, it was August 17th 2018. I went up there, I went there to spend, I just went up there to get some juice. I mean, I was just like, I might as well spend money over there anyway, because I like to spend money there, like getting this sage and stuff. And so I went up in there. Turns out it was a party there, so I was like, oh, I bet. All right, so I'm gonna meet a lot of people here, because I'm always networking. And while I was networking, I met a Funja, and he was there, and he immediately kind of like stood out, because like, it was a feather in his head, and it was his clothes too. Like, this dude was sharp. Sharpest person in the room. Like, if you see footage of him, like, this man be wearing Gucci all day. I couldn't believe it. I never met a man like this brother. This brother must got bread, And in my head, I'm like, yo, like, I definitely gotta figure out who he is, cause it's like he has money, and that's what I was thinking. And networking, and then I also heard what he was talking about. He got money, and he's deep, and he's older than me. So I was like, I can learn from this man, cause I'm always looking to learn, always. But I met this brother, and I told him I was a graphic artist, and then he tells me that he does one of the things he told me, that he was in the real estate. He's retired, and I was like, wow, this dude is retired, and he used to be in the real estate. Wow, did I just hit the jackpot? And then he said that he's also a priest, and then that kind of just blew me away. Like, I never seen a priest in Gucci, never. I mean, I've seen like Christian priests in like Cadillacs or Bentleys and like movies, but I've never seen an actual priest just out here fly like that. It really blew me away. And of course I had a healthy amount of skepticism about this too, but whenever I enter a situation, I always try to see two sides of the situation, because I am a Gemini. My son's in Gemini, in the 11th house too. 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, so everyone has a purpose, but then later on down the line, and I'm going to come back to this later, when you find out more about your purpose, you're just going to realize that your purpose does not work well with other people's purposes. And I'm going to continue. So I meet this brother, I get his number. He said he said he did divinations, and he said he did divinations for $50. And then I was like, okay, bet. And I was thinking in my head, like, okay, I could just make that real quick and then shoot it over to him. But instead of charging me, the brother actually did the divination for me for free. And he said, yeah, it was an offer, because he told me to call him if I wanted divination. And it was, and then I'm like, yo, it's a free divination. I'm not gonna pass that up. And so got home, did the divination, and it was at 8:28 p.m. on August 17th, 2018. Numbers are very important. That's why I said this. And when he did that, I got a new name. The name is Iwori, and I also learned my head for life, which is Obatala. So your head for life, and then, like I would like the head for life is damn near the same as the North Node, because it's all about like where you're going in life, so where you're heading to in life, and like when I had this divination and I went back to my birth chart, it did some cross referencing. I noticed that my Jupiter is in my 4th house in Scorpio. Obatala is associated with that planet, and Jupiter is right next to my North Node. So it is also key to my progression. It's key to my expansion, and it's key to my destiny. Iwori means overcome fear and radical change. I have always been quite fearful. I've always carried fear. Fear is a false evidence appearing real. It's a wake up call. It's like I've been given a new name that's been given to me to overcome fear and radical change, because obviously I was having a hard time with it to begin with, probably. Or, you can't do anything by yourself. You never do. You got spirits, you got entities that follow you around. People like to spook and mystify the shit, but it's really just quite simple. You are what you attract. Every heart emits its own heart rate. It has its own frequency that is emitting, and if you emit a certain frequency to the universe, you're going to get that frequency back, or you're going to get something that's going to polarize that frequency. So in this case, now that I said that, it makes me kind of realize that maybe I have been doing things right, right. Cause now I have a Obatala, and people were very skeptical. I was very skeptical about it, cause like Obatala, I've never heard of a Obatala before, and this dude's rocking all Gucci, for all this could be a facade, but then. That was just one side of me, but then the other side of me was like, this brother's broken me down in a way that connects back to my birth chart, and it connects back to my past. Because get this, my Obatala, I did the music video for his son about 5 years ago, and I met Afunja's son through my friend Blake, who I used to live with in Hyde Park. Shout out to King Mitchell. So official. It makes me appreciate everything that's been happening, like all the ups and downs. Was and a family member of mine told me this, that even though all this bad stuff happens, it's all good at the end of the day. And it is all good, because if I didn't deal with all the shit, went through all the shit that I went through, I would have never been at the point I am now. And I'm truly grateful for everything that's happened. Everything. Because it's just, well, for one, it creates a good story. And y'all gonna find out soon. Because there's a lot that's gonna come along with this project. This is just the beginning. I'm really excited about this project, the Obatala Detective Agency. I'm gonna have all the information in the description link. And please stay in tune, because it's going to be a lot. It's a wave coming. So be ready. I'll show y'all.